Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video on my channel. So I figured in this video that I would show y'all how to make the game animation sample project a template for y'all to choose in the Unreal Engine project browser. So that way anytime you're trying to do something with the game animation sample project, that you can easily just kind of pick up and go with it, especially if you already have like stuff that you've set up and is ready to go, but you don't want to have to create the project every time and then have to reset those up. So let's go ahead and get started, and I will show you how to turn it into a template. Alright guys, so first things first, what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and head to where our default projects are kept, or at least the default location that is set when you create a template, or create a blank project for your first time, to work on. So my default location for it's going to be in my documents folder. So I'm going to go ahead and open up documents and then Unreal projects. So as you can see, it's a bit of a mess with like my learning and whatnot, but what we are going to do here is we're going to get my game animation sample project. And so as far as this one, I have been using it for my other YouTube tutorials like the how to sprint, crouch, and aim. So because I've set those up in previous videos, I do actually want this to be my template going forward. So what we're going to do is I'm going to right click it and I'm going to copy this folder. Then what we are going to do is once you copy that, you're going to go to where the Epic Games launcher is located. So I'm going to open up a new tab, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to local disk, program files, not the 86, but normal program files. And then right here where it says Epic Games, and then you'll see the Unreal Engine version that the Epic Games has downloaded. So as you can see, I only have 5.4 because I always try to use the latest version of Unreal Engine. So go ahead and open up whatever version you're using, and then you'll see a folder called templates. So open up your templates, and what you're going to do in here is you are going to then paste the game animation sample project within this folder. So one thing to look at while this is copying over is that you'll see that there's a bunch of TP with a BP at the end or no BP, stuff like that. So to go over this, the TP stands for template. It's short for template. But then what you'll also see is, like, let's say for example, third person and third person BP. This third person is supposed to represent the C++ version when you open it in the Unreal Engine project browser, and the BP is supposed to represent the blueprint version selection in the project browser. So in this case, what we want to do is, because for me, I primarily use blueprints within the game animation sample project or any other project that I do. What we're going to do is we're going to rename this, the game animation sample project folder, to TP underscore and then put BP at the end, because what I'm trying to do is keep it consistent with all the other folders in here. So once you've done that, go ahead and right click on it and click on rename, or you can click F2 or just click on it. And we want to Control C this to copy, because just like with the normal Unreal Engine projects that you do, or when you look at them in your documents or wherever you store them, the folder and the project file will have the same name. And that I can't remember off the top of my head why that is, but we do need to make them the same in order for them to run properly. So go ahead and open up your folder, and then go ahead and rename the file name to match the folder name, just like that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove these folders. So in the research that I've done on how to make this a template, we don't need these folders, so we can get rid of them to save on space and stuff like that, but I don't know the exact reason why we can get rid of them. But however, I do know that they are safe to get rid of, mainly because if we look at the templates, and let's just say for example the third person BP, they don't contain them either, and I think that's because of how it caches data like on startup when you go to load the project and everything. So it's safe to get rid of those for our case of setting up templates. So I'm going to go ahead and head back into the game animation sample blueprint template, and we're going to do a couple things, but the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to create a new folder and call it media, because once we are finished with the other stuff that we're going to do, we're going to put screenshots in here for them to be visible in the project browser. However, if you load up the Unreal Engine project browser right now, you are not going to see this template because there is one thing that we are missing. So what I am going to do is we do need to hop back into the templates folder, and I'm going to go into the third person blueprint because we need to copy a config file, and the closest thing to us would be the third person blueprint project. So go ahead and go into the third person blueprint, and you're going to click on the config folder, and the file that we want to copy is this template diffs ini file, because this is what houses the code to make it show up in the project browser. So go ahead and right click it and copy, and then we're going to go back into templates and then game animation sample project BP and then our config folder, and then you are going to paste that file within the folder. So now what we have to do next is we do need to fix some things within this file before it is correctly shown or whatnot within the project browser. So go ahead and open up that, and it opened up on my other screen, so let me bring it over. So as you can see, if we go through it, we have our scripts location, we have our categories, we have localized display names, and we have a bunch of other stuff that runs, on the project browser startup to correctly place this and identify what the template is. So what we need to do first is we need to change our title for our template. So where you see third person here, we need to call it the game animation sample project, just like so. And what I am going to do is I am going to change the localized description text because I already have a template made of how I want the template to be described in my project browser. So I'm going to go ahead and paste over this. So if y'all want the same description, by all means go ahead and pause the video and type that out. However, if you're not too concerned with it, then I'm going to go ahead and move on. So another thing that we're going to do is something that I've done as far as sorting purposes go. You don't have to do this. However, this is just something that during my research I've seen that these templates will have or can have, which is a sort key. So if I drop down underneath replacements and files, I'm going to go ahead and add my sort key just so it sorts neatly within the project browser. So let's see, game animation sample project, and I'm gonna put a BP at the end, and also too got to make sure I spell correctly. So just like that, I don't believe you need the sort key, but for what I'm trying to do and show, just in case you want to sort how these things show up in the game animations, the project browser, then you'll need a sort key. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So once you're done with it, go ahead and hit save, and then we can close out of this. So now let's go ahead and open up the Unreal Engine project browser so that way we can see how it looks. Alright guys, so I am back in now. So as you can see, we do have now a default game animation sample project. So, as you look through this, so we have our blank first person, third person, top down game, so when you look through it, it has a description, it's got a thumbnail picture, and then it's got a landscape picture for the thing. And then as you can see, they've got their own default descriptions that you can read through and stuff like that. However, with the game animation sample project, when you click on it, we don't have a thumbnail and we don't have a landscape picture to show, but at least we have the name of our template, and then we also have like the description that I had, made out and everything like that. So, and then as you can see, the only thing that we do have is a blueprint selection because of what we called it and how we copied the template config file and everything. So to get our thumbnails and stuff, what I am going to do is, for me, because I already have some pictures ready, I'm going to go ahead and move those in there, but I will show y'all how to get your own screenshots, here in a little bit. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to copy mine over just so that way you can get a good look at this. So for me first, Let me go open up my pictures and then my screenshots. And then I'm going to add, where is it? This screenshot into my media config. So I already have that thumbnail. And then there was another picture that I had. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So I believe if I went to pictures, it was in screenshots. Okay, so unfortunately I do not see it anywhere at the moment. So here's how I'm going to show you how to get your screenshot, or at least your landscape screenshot if you need it. So what I am going to do is I am going to open up the game animation sample project, and then I will be right back to show you how to do it. Alright guys, welcome back. So I finally got this. It took me a bit to load it. So once you are in the game animation sample project, what you're going to want to do is, for me, I already had this kind of loaded from last time, or saved in this position from last time as I was tinkering with this. So I'm going to take this screenshot as my landscape picture. So, find an angle that you want with the camera. I tried to do it with the characters. So like if I played and, had the character, I was trying to take a screenshot that way. But the thing to take a screenshot with this is you need this waffle icon, or this waffle button right here next to perspective to take a screenshot. Apparently none of these up here take a screenshot as far as I'm aware of, because I looked through them. So we're just trying to get a good landscape picture. So at this point, once you get your good angle, go ahead and click the waffle icon, and what you're going to do is you're going to come down here to high resolution screenshot and click that. I left everything as default, but you're more than welcome to customize it if you want. And you're just going to hit capture, and then as you can see where it saves into my documents folder and then saved screenshots. So let's go ahead and hop right back into the thing that we're working on. So if I go and open it back up, so right here in media, go ahead and wherever you opened up the landscape screenshot, go ahead and place it into here. And now the final thing that we are going to do is we need to basically copy the name once again into our screenshot. However, we need to do it in a specific way. So if I go back to templates and then go into the third person blueprint and go to media, you can see how they have a square thumbnail, 256 by 256, and then the landscape one by 400 by 200. It doesn't need to be those exact dimensions, or at least as far as I'm aware of, it doesn't need to be. But just in case something bugs out, you can definitely edit. You should be able to edit the properties of them and be able to change the size. Yeah, right here in details. And I believe you can go here. Or actually, I think you need to edit them with you could probably edit it with paint or whatever to, get a different pixel size. But for right now, just make sure that you can see that we have the names like TP third person blueprint, TP third person blueprint preview. So as you can see how those names are, if we go back into templates, let's go ahead and click on our folder name to be able to rename, for us to copy that. And then I'm going to click on it, open up media, and then I'm going to go and rename these to game animation sample project or blueprint. And then this one is going to be the same thing, but we're going to add underscore preview to it, just like that. So now once you've done that, we should be essentially done. So if we now launch our Unreal Engine project browser, you will then see, once it loads up, that we will now have both of those images for our previews. So if we go back into games, you will now see that I have the thumbnail for the game animation sample project and then the screenshot of the preview that we took. So now to test this, what I am going to do is I'm going to rename this to GASP template test, just to show you. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create. And as you can see, it is now creating the project. And just so that way you can see, that, I'm not photoshopping or anything, that once it starts loading the, the Unreal Engine symbol, you can see right here, GASP template test. So then I will also show you when we get in there, basically what we have set up. Alright guys, I am back. So as you can see now, everything is now loading up. We're preparing our meshes, everything else is going. And as you can see in the top right, we do have our GASP template test. And then as you can see how everything's loading in. And now if we hit play, so again, like I said, with the tutorial videos that I have been doing, I have added some stuff in here already, so that's why this editor shows up or this error shows up. Y'all should not have this unless you've already done something to your project. This is just something that I've already done when I set up my default stuff like sprinting, aiming, and crouching, so don't worry about this. This should not appear for you. So if I go ahead and play, now you can see that we are in the game animation sample project, and it has my sprinting, it has my crouching, and it has my aiming. So there we go guys, that is how you set up the game animation sample project to be your template. So well, I hope you enjoyed that guys, and I hope that was educational for you. So, if you did like that, then I'm glad. If, hopefully you're able to then use it for your own game animation sample project, and also be able to have a lot easier time to just spin up games in the future. So, other than that guys, that is all. So, hopefully you join me in my other videos. So other than that, y'all take care, and I will see y'all later.